Everyone, it's Kara. I have a couple altered composition notebooks to share with you today. One that I made because I'm in a partner swap over at Craft Happens, and the other one I made for a friend's daughter who is turning 16. The first one is for Charlene, my partner over at Craft Happens, and the theme for this composition book was basically the holidays, kind of a wintertime theme. It was supposed to have, I think, some pockets in it and a couple dividers, and basically, your partner picked kind of the colors and the style, and then you could use it for organizing things for the holidays. Memories, recipes, Christmas card lists, whatever you want. So, Charlene, if you don't want to see this, you need to not watch anymore. Okay? So, this is the one that I made for Charlene. She likes vintage and pink, which is what I went for with this one. Basically, I took the standard composition notebook, and then I had some sticky back canvas, which I first sprayed with some Lindy's Stamp Gang sprays. A little bit of a Moonshadow Mist and one of the pinks. I think it's Cotton Candy. Then I took some various stamps. You can kind of see some, let me see if I can move this for you. You can see some musical notes in there, hopefully, and a whole bunch of snowflakes. That was another one of Charlene's favorite things. And I stamped all over it. And this is prior to putting it on the composition book. Then I cut it down to close to the same size as the composition notebook. And when I say cut, I didn't actually cut any part of it except for the corners. I had to a little bit. The rest, I just got close to the right size and then cut a teeny bit in the canvas and ripped it because I wanted the distressed edge that you can see here. And then I just stuck it on. It worked out really well. And then I distressed all the edges with, I believe, walnut distress ink. And I did it on both sides. I'll show you. Here's the other side, which I just left simple. And then, because I wanted a little bit more pink on it, I put some pink lace trim on both sides. Like I said, you can see it there too. Oops, maybe you can. Up there. And then I used some really pretty shabby rose trim that I got from Frog Feathers on Etsy. And I decorated the front with just a simple label. This is little pieces of seam binding that I tucked behind. I wanted some more little pops of color and a couple buttons, which I believe are Prima, if I remember right. And then the inside I kept very simple. I did sticky back canvas on the front cover and then 3 pockets made out of these envelopes. Like so. Some stickers stuck on there, a few stamps. We weren't really required to do much with the interior of it, although I did in a few places put some stamps, nothing major, just some things like that. There are the 2 dividers I made. I had a hole punch that was kind of circular like a flower, cut it in half, basically just attached it so she can easily go to a different section. And then, like I said, throughout the journal here and there are just little stamps, mostly sentiments. Let's see if I can find one. I did them in pink, like this one, Let It Snow. Kept it again, very simple, some snowflakes. I wanted her to have all the room in here for writing. Like I said, either Christmas memories, recipes, Christmas card lists, whatever she wants. And then let me show you the very back cover, the inside back cover. I put some corkboard-like paper, which was also sticky on the back on here. Cut it down to size, inked up the edges. I also sanded the edges a little bit for the corkboard to get it kind of distressed looking. I did not want it to totally meet the paper because I was afraid that it would make the book not close correctly. So I left a little teeny gap. So to cover that, I used some brown seam binding. And then I just made this little postcard and wrote on it, and it just says, Dear Santa, I've been naughty. There's a little keepsake of me in there. And that's the one for Charlene. Now, because I was on a roll, and like I said, my friend's daughter has a birthday coming up, I went ahead and made her one. This one is a little bit more similar to one I made for a previous swap, and I did a different technique. Again, it has a very vintage feel to it, but I did something a little different. First, I painted the outside covers with some very light pink paint, which you can't see very much of, but I just wanted it there in case I sanded off some of the other things that I was going to put on. Then I put on some black gesso and let that dry. Then I put on a very thin coat of Mod Podge and I laid this tissue paper, which is what this is, on top while the Mod Podge was still pretty wet, so that it would basically adhere it from behind the tissue paper and I didn't have to put too much on top. And let that dry somewhat, and then I sanded away in different places so that it would get a very vintagey feel to it. You can see kind of up here I did the same. The back is the same, and again I left it plain, but you can see where I've distressed it. Ripped off pieces, you can see little teeny bits of the pink, well, of course lots of the black. I did the spine the same way. I love the way these flowers look on the spine. This is how I did my first one as well. I just think it's really pretty. Then I embossed the dress form, added some gorgeous little doilies from my wonderful crafty friend Julie, who's the paper bag lady on YouTube, and a few little wild orchid crafts flowers, some bling, Tim Holtz tag, and then up here one of these gorgeous little things that I love. I did this inside covers similar to the front, where I painted pink, black, and then did a different tissue paper. Both of these tissue papers, by the way, these packs are from Seven Gypsies. Added one little envelope up here, just in case she has some little notes or something she'd like to store. And then because I kind of went with the dress form theme on the front, I did do a few stamps inside, but mainly dress forms. These are Stamper's Best dress forms, just periodically through here. I also added a few tags here and there, a few little words. This one says Dream, Smile, Treasure. A few little stamps. I did try and keep them relatively small, just little random places. You know, I wanted her to have lots of room to write whatever she wants to write in this. And then the back inside cover is just like the front. It's just that tissue paper. Again, sanded, distressed. Just really love the way that looks. So, two different ways to create those altered books. I had a blast with both of them. I really like altering the composition books. I think they are a ton of fun. And, you know, they're not really all that time consuming unless you're doing, you know, a lot of stuff to the inside. Then they can be a little bit more time consuming. You mean you could add pockets, you could add full pattern paper or cardstock dividers. It's all sorts of things you could do. But anyway, if you have any questions, anything I didn't cover in the video, leave them down below. And Charlene, I hope you like this. I had a lot of fun making it. This was a new technique for me, so I love the way it looks, and I will be using this again. And for all of you guys watching, I hope you have a great day wherever you're at. Thanks. Bye.